This is, ready? The best LP640 manual left in the world. Man, it is so pretty in silver. It is stunning. Congrats, young man. Congrats. So the only thing, it's no calipers, but it has Macintosh. I actually like that because it's more like, yeah, that is sick. As I get ready for a very busy few weeks, and Sergio is going to be leaving us. I'm going to be on the road. Sergio will be on the road. I think Herschel is going to be on the road as well. This week's video is just going to be a complete vlog behind the scenes. But what's so interesting is, and we didn't actually plan this for the video, is really this perfect moment capturing what either I'm just getting old or we're going into a renaissance of these incredible modern classics aging into what is now vintage. So, you know, it's remarkable, as you guys just saw, just unloaded a very, very cool Ford GT. If you didn't know, Quicksilver is actually the rarest production color that was produced for the Ford GT. I believe like 150 cars or so. A single year color, so 2005, even more rare than the heritage cars. So to see one is very cool. We actually got that from an incredible family, original owner, a family collection, beautiful story. The guy's got incredible taste. And I think it's like just under a 600-mile car. But what's so wild to me, when I first started many, many moons ago, I think the first car, or first two cars, I think it was the third car I actually brokered, was a Ford GT when it was new. So rewind 20 years ago, and basically imagine, it's wild for me to think that those cars are now becoming 20 years old or 25 years old. And today, we'll talk about some of the cars. There's two cars that I haven't seen yet, that I haven't spent some time with yet. The RUF that we have to talk about in this video, the 430 Scuderia. But that's what's so cool, is these cars are now becoming vintage. And this perfect sort of renaissance. I have always said this, but I think there's an end of an era moment. And I would say a lot of these cars are part of that end of the era. They're non-hybrid. They're still radical, they're rare, they're cool, they're, you know, analog, they're all these different things. And yes, not all the cars here are manuals as well. Before I get into the rest of the showroom, we just had the opportunity to purchase something that could be one of the best manuals in the world. You're gonna have to also, guys, excuse my voice this week. I have been a little bit under the weather for the last week, and that's why we actually missed one video. But all that being said, we just purchased, I think the wire is pending right now. There it is. Okay, and what makes this special? This is a 2009 LP640 Roadster, and it doesn't have one option there. It doesn't have the E gear. This is, ready? The best LP640 manual left in the world. We think 1,600 miles from new, an 09 Roadster. This is the grail. Super, super exciting. So one of 9 US cars, one of 16 for the world. So imagine this, I mean, what a way. It's not arriving today. It'll probably arrive sometime next week. 1,628 miles. And there she is, pearl yellow. So that's a unicorn. That's the ultimate. That'll be incoming. We're actually trying to buy, if you had to go sort of the same era, we're trying to buy this LFA as we speak. This is here for an inspection. The owner's in love with the car. Very unique color. There's actually a great LFA registry if you want to look into all the colors. We're just cleaning this car right now, but look at that interior. The two-tone red Alcantara and black leather interior. The owner's a good friend, so it's a very polite negotiation, as most of our negotiations, but we'll see. And I love those cars. We've been fortunate. Gabe and Steven from our team sort of turned me on to them and sort of taught me a lot about these cars. We had one on our rally last year, and they're just so incredible. Maybe one of the best sounding cars ever made as well. And then you guys know how much I love these cars. I believe, so we have 3 DTMs of the 180 produced for the world. There was 100 coupes, 80 cabs. We have 3 DTMs here. I believe this is the car we just purchased, 992 miles. This is available now. I think this car is pending to a very, very, very great collector, passionate guy. He's actually famous too, but I won't give up who he is. That's our 3,000 mile car, and this sold before we even marketed it. This is a 572 miles. So cool. 05, 06, these cars. So to have these cars here, again, this is part of this next generation, and we will have more on the car sitting here. We can't actually ignore this. I've always talked about this as one of the most important cars that Curated has ever had. We sold this about 2 years ago, and yes, we have the opportunity to buy it back, which is very exciting, especially as we go into our 10-year anniversary, to have this in inventory and to have another very special prototype in inventory. We'll have to do another deep dive on this car. But to me, this is probably one of the most important cars that we've had the opportunity to purchase. The Ford Cobra Shelby Concept, a one-off, unveiled at the Detroit International Auto Show with Mr. Carroll Shelby himself. It is called the Last Cobra. It is also nicknamed Daisy, a one-off V10 power plant. There was believed to be 2 V10 engines made like this. I wish they made this car for production, but it's so cool. We've talked about the 16M that we recently sold, and I've got to go check it out now. These cars have gone insane over the last, probably, I would say, 2 months. And we had this opportunity recently. We just sold our F40, and we took this trade-in, which for a Scuderia, it might be as good as it gets. And listen, Curated is always, our biggest goal is, to change and evolve as the industry grows. And listen, we're now 10 years old. So obviously there are new cars coming into our world that are now becoming vintage. That's what we deal in. And I think this car sort of marks that as a moment of vintage. Obviously the 430 originally came out in 2005. The Scuderia was the race version of the 430. And this is as good as you get. This is in a period today, this is not the case anymore, but most Ferraris for many years were Rosa Corsa. Most Scuderias are Rosa Corsa. This is a Giallo car with the black, with the race text interior. I think this car has 900 original miles. So again, this checks a lot of boxes. This is going to be an incredible piece of inventory. Well spec'd too. It's got the hi-fi system. And then this, I'm in love with this car. This is Mr. Roof's personal RUF Turbo R96. This car was first unveiled at the Essen Auto Show. This car actually sold at auction about a year or 2 ago. In the US, an incredible example of really what was the most impressive car built from RUF at this time. 221 miles per hour, 590 horsepower, Mr. RUF's personal car. My favorite touch of this car, obviously you have the different, everything, every part of this car is different. I think the glass is original, but from the mirrors, the doors, the quarters, the bumpers, and then this is probably the coolest part. In June 2005, signed by Mr. RUF himself, registered to him. So this was a personal car. And then, when you talk about, you know, we've always talked about doubling down. When we do research about these cars, we want to go as deep as we can go for you guys, and we'll step inside. When we first learned about this car, we went down a rabbit hole because we knew it was coming in on trade, and we knew that the car had been featured on the cover of Excellence magazine, probably one of the most famous Porsche magazines, featured in October of 2004. And then interesting enough, I saw one little clip from the magazine. I noticed, asked Barton from our team, who historical, incredible sort of, he's with our archive side, but he's also, his knowledge of photographers and motorsport history is just really impressive. So I asked him, do you know this guy, Ian Kua? And he reached out to Ian, and we found all of the original photos of this car from Germany when the car was new. And yes, Mr. Roof driving it. So there's some great photos. Sergio's going to have to put those in this video of Mr. Roof smiling, driving the car. And those photos were then later used for Excellence magazine. And then the 599 GTO, which sold before it even hit our marketing. I'm a massive fan of these cars. I think they were too undervalued for way too long. One of 599 cars in the world, 170 US examples. And again, like the Scuderia, I think today, you know, you've seen with these last Monterey auction reports, anything that's non-red, anything that's a unique color is on fire. This 599 GTO, we had the opportunity to buy it, and then we sold it to a great client, is one of 3, we believe, in Bianco Italia. So it's a very bright pearl, white metallic, very cool color, 2,700 miles. And those cars just were too undervalued for so long. I remember buying a few, and it was like 600 to 800,000 for many, many years. But when you think of the rarity, and then especially a non-red car, just how rare that is. I believe there was 70 non-red cars. Anyways, one of the things we've been doing as we've been sort of doing a deeper dive, and I'm really sort of proud of the team, Ross, Steven, and Gabe, is really going down a complete rabbit hole and running the VINs of every single one of these cars. And that's what's so wild about these modern classics. And when we talk about the Murcielago, specifically, when we talk about a 360 Challenge Stradale, which we're in the process of trying to buy a few more CS cars today, is majority of the cars, I would say 60% of Murcielagos in the US between 2002 and 2004 either have a bad Carfax with a major accident and or a salvage title. So these cars were used as transportation. They were many times destroyed. And same with 360 Challenge Stradales. We had a collector reach out to us and say, you know, I want your old 4,000 mile black on red car. And I had to say, like, you know, find me something like that. And we went down, we ran all the VINs. And then we ended up finding that there's maybe 6 cars left like it that are non-red. Different colors. I think there's one really good black Cuyo car. But again, these cars are just so rare. And I think that it is so cool because people can use them. They're usable, they're reliable. So it's fun to see how Curated is evolving as I'm getting older, as the company's getting older. I don't know if we'll ever get into hybrid cars, though. I'll tell you that. Even 20 years from now, I don't think so. Then, really sort of special that you guys are going to see, we're going to jump into Italy, and we will be visiting a ton of projects throughout Motor Valley. And I don't know if we've talked about this yet, but Sergio and Herschel have been actually working on a incredible, not a YouTube video, I'm talking a real documentary about the love that comes out of Motor Valley, everything, the history, all of the details. So they are in Italy. They will be in Italy filming that. And then at the same time, I'm checking on all of our different projects. We have a lot of projects going on in Italy. One of those, I'm excited to announce a Lamborghini Countach LP400S. This is a Series 1 car, so one of the 48 original low-body cars with the Bravo wheels, one of 4 examples in white. You guys are going to get a sneak peek of that up close and personal in Italy. And then the weekend after, we are joining 24 or 23 other supercars and clients from around the country on our incredible curated invitational rally in Palm Springs. So stay tuned. There's a ton of great content coming. So thank you guys again for all your support. If you have not subscribed yet, now would be the time, I'm telling you, because the content's only going to go crazy over the next 30 days. So love you guys and thank you guys again for your support, and I'm sorry for my voice.